Hi guys, over the past 2 months I was working on this spread and I finally got it absolutely right and it's really functioning unbelievably well. This is for the people who basically want to find out if there is a possibility of reunion and if they should actually go with their exes, what is going on in their heads, if this is a wise idea, etc., etc., etc. It kind of like will describe sort of the past situation that brought you to this basically question what is currently going on in their heads, in your heads, and also near and far future. So let me introduce you the cards that actually I picked. This took a while to find the right combination. So I'm calling the spread Cat Tarot Nose Spread. So you can only see it here. So the first actually card that I have is the Magician. The reason that I picked this one first, one is a number one in numerology. And when you have number one, this is basically beginning. Also, the Magician is a card of sort of starting on a new journey, just to see if you have all the tools available to go in this new relationship and if that can create this chemistry. And also because it's a number one, what are the thoughts on a new beginning? The second card I took here is a Temperance reversed. And it's purposely reversed because here it means merging two opposites, but here it means two opposites or two different kind of entities are not merged, which is basically what is bringing you to this question because you really want to know why things didn't work out and what went wrong. Maybe that was not communicated to you, maybe you didn't communicate it, maybe you didn't even recognize it in you, but this is what went wrong. So this is a significator for the ladies. This is, and I took Queen of Wands. Please don't go into this horoscope signs. Frankly, I'm so tired of reading horoscope signs in cards because like every card is like archetype, and this is like the sexy archetype that is like charging, and she wants her man, she wants her mate. This doesn't have to be necessarily a woman. So either you're man or female, this is basically who you are, and the other person is going to represent your partner. For the guys, it's going to be the awkward kind of things around, but also keep in mind, because I'm getting here energies not only for all of you who are actually listening to this, the subscribers that I'm connecting, but I'm also getting the energy of that one more person and all these exes that you're bringing to the table. So I need to kind of like find it more generic, so this can be switched. So you have to figure out if this person is more this or this, which one is you. Then we have Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a communication cards and things being up in the air. Basically, simply I want to see over this timeline how the communication went and if that was the problem. Then we have another significator of that person. So I said like that they're interchangeable. You have to find out if that is like the guy you're inquiring about or if this is you. And again, I took a King of Wands, again, charisma, passion, because that's what we get attracted to. And obviously, if we are considering reunion or we are still thinking about somebody in the past, this is what is holding us basically captive in our thoughts. Then we have a card of Judgment. So this is card very difficult for many of people to understand. So we kind of like see the angel coming trumpeting, basically freedom, and everybody's kind of raising from the dead. So obviously this is talking about if our life was well lived, if we learned the lessons and what lessons we had to learn. So in this particular case is how that other party sees the past and sees basically how they contributed to the things that happened and what was going on in their head, right? Sometimes you get really surprised when you kind of feel you are the wrong one, and then you find out from them they feel they're the wrong one. And lastly, I took a Four of Wands, which kind of can be reunion, can be celebration, but keep in mind that many people are talking about this card as a marriage, which also can be, but in this particular case, significator here is what are the thoughts of reunion? Is reunion in the store, and even if it's wise? So basically we have this 7 cards, which is kind of like really spiritual number. Also, if you look the numbers, like 1 plus 14 is like 15, and 8, 23, 53, and 4, 57, it is 12, it's 3, it's like something with this yellow, 3 is connected to this yellow, and as you see, I kind of picked the yellows because this is kind of uplifting sun color, and I wanted to see what basically stands behind it. So this is the intro, guys, and so what I'm considering right now every month to have that as well, or at the very least give it a try for Venus retrograde and see how it goes sign by sign. Okay, so this is enough for the intro, so let's start with reading. I just want to add that this spread is available for private reading, and in that case, like you really know who are the significators, we are going to assign to significators their birth date and their names, and we are going to be able to move forward with extremely specific energy. So for those of you who are wondering if the reunion is going to happen, or what you have to look for, what are the best words to use, etc. This is a great spread. And definitely you can ask when you're ordering that to be included in your reading or to be the feature of your reading, because then I can do it with tarot cards and I can do with Versibila cards, and we can go a few crosses just to make sure that we got all these finesses right. And again, for private reading, check my website, cattarot.ca, and I'm taking bookings right now. You have chunks of 20, 40, or 60 minutes, and I'm looking forward to actually hearing back from you. For now, let me start doing the sample readings so that way you can actually see what to expect. Thanks. Love you guys. Hi, Leo. Let's see what happens with those partners from the past in your case. So let's go right into it because I already shuffled, not to waste time. So Magician, let's see what kind of, like, first line is going to be the past. Let's see what kind of tools basically were brought to this relationship or were challenged. Indecision. So from the basically tool set of swords, it was kind of like something that had to be learned is like about this how to make a decision. Okay, what was gluing things apart? Intuition. That was a kind of intuition about something. Okay, we will look as we go along. We are going to get more information about these first cards because right now it's kind of like hard to paint a picture. How he or your partner sees you. See somebody who is not pleased, or somebody who is not making a decision, or maybe somebody who doesn't know what they want. Communication in the past. There was like a lack of, how to put it, lack of enthusiasm. Sort of like, again, that kind of like would be this feeling, right? Like, I mean, when you go, I don't know, sort of like, it was a question why you lost this passion. Sort of like that kind of was a communication. Or it simply could be that somebody just shut down and lost passion literally without communicating it. So it could be one of the two. So how your partner sees himself or herself in the past. Well, they see that they actually fail to provide you with what they thought that you want. And that's why now they are probably thinking like this, you don't know what you want. So here you have, like, I mean, it will be 10 of Cups, will be everything the basically life can provide you with money, right? So like the home, it's like a family, a loyalty of friends, kind of like a vision, but it's upside down. So it's kind of like feeling, oh my gosh, I felt I gave you everything, so what is it I'm missing? So what are the lessons from what you guys had? Lessons, like, I mean, they're not lessons yet there, because simply, like, when it came to this judgment, it was a lot of anxiety, lots of pain about it. Again, we're having 9s and 10s over here, and here I have 2s. So basically what it's telling me that at the very end, you kind of like came to the finalization of this is final, because everything that you had to work on, like in such a beginning stages, it would be a long, steep climb up. So let's say reunion in the past. Well, reunion in the past was just like temperance. It would require merging two opposites. One was like possibly wild, and one was possibly, able to kind of become a loose cannon in any possible situation. Another one had to have this uttermost gentleness and trust that's not going to be injured. So this is a really hard card for reunion, but it's also a card of hope. So you may have been coming back and forth, but like you were going between this trust and anxiety, and yet decision hasn't been made. So I don't know. Let's see the present, the tools. Okay, this is a good tool in your toolbox. There is a nurturing. There is like a mover and shaker. There is a person who everybody wants. There is a person who kind of like feels like home. This is the person kind of like making a wish come true. And we are going 1, 2, 3. We are going in a good direction here. So let's see the things that went wrong. What else was broken? The communication was not going well. It was a little bit too rigid. It was a little bit too cold. It was a little bit too fact-oriented. So this whole intuition that you felt was not communicated properly. And this is kind of like what kind of was starting to separate you, because you felt, well, if there is not the passion and like these harsh words, what's the point of being here? So how he sees you at present? Actually, he sees that you are the one who communicate that. Because this is the person who just got so fed up, who is basically just speaking clearly what she thinks without actually packaging it. Just like, this is what it is, kind of like completely fed up. So communication, justice. It's very similar to this card. You know, it looks like you guys want your justice and you're going to get it. And it's sort of like times are calling for the two of you kind of like to put everything on the table and kind of talk about it. And talk about factually, you know, without much blame, sort of like, this is what it is. And you might do it in a little bit kind of like harsh manner. So let's see how he's going to do it. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit harsh. And he's going to pull inside. He's going to clamp up, or she's going to clamp up. Because you have to understand that in this person's head, you know what happened. But in this person's head, they were giving you everything they feel they can give you. This is the maximum what they can give. So the lessons are memory from the past were actually not nice memories. They were not sweet memories. They were sort of like probably memories of these harsh words which kind of caused this, like, I mean, anxieties, pain, waking up in the middle of the night, you know, and crying over the fact that you're not with someone else. And this is the same thing. You're just like literally not understanding how did this happen. Why are you not with this person, right? And then you're remembering things that were like just really causing you pain. So this is going from a head to heart and kind of recycling. So reunion at present. Yeah, again, look, you have yet another page reversed. Look, you have all these cards reversed, which means the communication is like highly damaged. And this is the communication you would need. These little kind of flirty things you see going in this direction. Instead, it's going in that direction. And that's the strength of the reunion, is like basically based on the fact that you can flirt and you can kind of like create something together. So let's go one more month in the future. Well, that's another 6. How many 6s do I have now? I have 1. I have 2 6s. 6s are cards of reunions, but they're like coming to you in reverse. And this is a toolbox. So you went from nurturing to, I don't want to nurture anyone anymore. And it is absolutely you, because you just got fed up, because you're trying to talk, and even though you said it harshly, you know, at some point you have to be adults and kind of absorb the energy and talk and communicate. Okay, so maybe you need to learn how to kind of balance that anger with how you express the anger. But this is also kind of like card of going back and forth, right? This can also mean the third person, but I don't see the other indicators in the spread to see the third person for now. Or if it was the third person was not in the past, it might happen in the future, because this is happening now. Now I'm talking about the future, but somehow you're going to get to the level where you don't feel generous anymore. And here you're going from extreme generosity to not feeling, so sort of like extreme. So what is still unglued here. So it's unglued the communication, like swords are communication, absolutely communication. You as an air sign, you just keep coming with those swords. They're causing you frustration in communicating. They're causing your partner pain and anxiety. It's indecision here. Lots of swords, lots of mental processes coming here. So how he sees you in the future? Well, he sees you as somebody who's powerful enough to unite, which is the sheer strength of will, right? So you see these two opposing forces, black and white sphinx, and this person doesn't have any strings guiding them. Literally, this is guided by sort of like inner power. And he sees you as having it, and this is now major arcana, just like here it was, like, I mean, there are lots of major arcana coming out in critical positions. So communication, well, it's a wish card. So it sounds like you guys are going to go through a gamut of emotions. You're going to go from being overly generous to completely not being generous. And maybe at some point understanding that what this person is doing is the maximum they can give. You cannot expect him to give you more than he has or she has. And after this person clamps up and you clamp up, sort of like going even in the kind of full with hiding and feeling that pain yourself, you still come out in saying, you know what, let's charge forward and let's still see what happens. And then kind of giving this like very hopeful kind of like messaging. And how he feels about it, well, he's not sure. He's not sure if he wants to charge ahead, right? Because like it would require him going from hermit to somebody really passionate, right? And here this love kind of communication was not there. So let's see, judgment overall is like, maybe, but I really will have to guard myself in here. So it will be a really guarded approach to it, right? So reunion in the future, yes. It is possibility, but it's also possibility of, you know, is it a third party? I don't know, it's coming in the space over here. I'm going to clarify. Coming in the space where, no, clarification is not a third party. It might be a little bit delayed. But you guys will kind of like get together with sheer energy that you have. It looks like you are the more aggressive partner. You're the more of a partner who knows what you need and what you want. The other partner more or less is, let's say, a provider type. So if it's a male, he would like to, you know, put food on the table, get you really nice stuff. And he thinks that's the basically the ultimate end, where you want to teach him more and you're communicating and then he clamps up. So some kind of balance has to be like, in place there, because if you turn this around, if you learn this tool, how to basically balance this and be more charitable, more nurturing, that kind of invites him out and that kind of gets him out to be less defensive. And the less defensive here, like you're able to turn things around from almost there in reserve to absolutely being there. So since your reading is ending with cups, that's a really positive end, especially your last communication a month from now is going to be a wish card. So guys, so Leo, you enjoy yourself. Have a good time and don't let anybody conquer you. Remember that 8 over there. Did I call you Gemini before? I'm just realizing I maybe have called you Gemini. It looks like these Leos that are coming here are having a lots of this Gemini component. Just please check your Venuses and Mars and put it in your comments. I don't know why it came through because this was for Leo. So let me know, guys, and thank you.